everyone, welcome back. Today on my channel, we're going to be making the vanilla bean custard Danish copycat recipe from Starbucks. I went through there the other day and had one, and I was like, whoa, I have to find a recipe and make these. And so I have found a copycat recipe. Let's hope they taste just as good because they were so scrumptious. If you're new here, my name is Debbie. And on my channel, I do mostly baking, some quick and easy recipes, maybe in crock pots. I also do a little bit of home decorating and love to decorate for Christmas time. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, hit the red subscribe button and become a member of my YouTube family. And always give me a thumbs up. Really appreciate those. And hit the bell icon because it'll notify you of every video that I upload. Let's get into this recipe. Okay, so let's start our copycat recipe for the Starbucks vanilla bean custard Danish. Here we go. So in a bowl, first we're going to mix together our cornstarch, sugar, and a pinch of salt. Let me just add the pinch of salt. We'll say that's a pinch. And then our cornstarch in the bowl will be 2 tablespoons. And our sugar is 1/3 of a cup. Just going to mix that a little bit together. Then we're going to add 3 egg yolks. One of them broke. We're going to add these like one at a time. Mix them up. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. Mix them pretty well till they're smooth and incorporated. I think that's good. Okay, we'll set those aside. Then in a pot, I'll move you over here so you can see what I'm doing. Then in a pot over medium heat, we're going to add the milk. We're going to add the vanilla and the vanilla bean. So here's a cup of milk, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and then 1 vanilla bean. We're just going to split it down and get all the insides out, all the good part. I love the smell of vanilla bean. I just love it. So I have scraped out the inside of a vanilla bean. I'm going to put all that in there. And then we're just going to heat this until it starts to bubble. And when I say bubble, I'm just talking about around the edges. We don't want it to start boiling. That's too hot. So just heat it to where it starts to bubble around the edges. And I think I'm about there already. I'm going to bring you in a little bit closer. I don't know if you can see that. See those tiny bubbles around those edges right there? I think that's just about where we need to be. So we're going to turn that off. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this warm mixture, kind of hot. We're going to remove it from the heat, and we're going to slowly add a little bit at a time into our egg yolks that we already have mixed up here. So let me turn you back over this way so you can see what I'm doing. We don't want to shock the eggs and end up having scrambled eggs, do we? So just a little bit at a time. That's very little at a time. You see what I'm doing? Just trying to incorporate those very slowly. And then once we have all of those in there, we're going to actually put it back on the stove and cook it on the stove. Okay, so we're going to place it back in the pot. Turn our fire back on, our stove back on, the eye back on, whatever you call it. And we're going to heat over medium-low heat. So I'm going to turn that down a little bit. Continuously stirring until it starts to thicken up. And as soon as it starts to thicken up, I'm going to take it off and pour it into my, I think this is a 4-cup measuring cup, my Pampered Chef cup. And we're going to let it sit there while we get our pastry ready. We're just going to start to thicken this up. After it thickens up, then we're going to take 1 tablespoon of butter. I'm going to incorporate that. And this is the first time I've made this, so I'm hoping it turns out good. I mean, when I went through that Starbucks 2 weeks ago and I saw that on the menu and I was like, well, I'm a little bit hungry. I was going to get one of their breakfast sandwiches. And they're okay. They're not bad, but they're not my favorite. I mean, I'd rather run through and get an egg McMuffin. But I was there and I saw the Danish and I was like, oh, cheese Danish. And I saw vanilla bean custard. And I was like, oh, you had me at vanilla bean. I have to try one of those. And they were just so good. And I thought, I got to find a recipe. So I found a Copycat recipe online and we're going to try it. So I don't have a clue as to how long it'll take for it to thicken up. But we're just doing it on medium-low, like it said, so we don't scorch it or anything. I think it's starting to. Yeah. I think the key here is not to overcook it. As it said, as soon as you see it start to thickening up, take it off. I think I better take it off. We'll just try that. And I'm going to pour it into my bowl. Oh, can't forget my butter. Going to add the butter in there. I'm going to sit it right here on a hot pad while I do it. You see that? My butter wasn't softened. It was sitting out just a little bit, but not a long time at room temperature, so. Pour it into Pampered Chef measuring cup. Wow, look at all the vanilla bean specks. I just love it. Looks good. Looks good. I think it'll thicken up a bit. I hope. We'll see, like I said. Oh, it has a great flavor. I just have to try a smidge of this. And I'm going to bring it up to the... Look at that. Can you see the little flecks of vanilla bean? Oh my goodness. Here I go. Wow. That is exactly like it tasted. Woo! Okay, so now we're going to get on to our pastry part of it. So the next step, I've preheated my oven to 400. We're going to take one. This is a puff pastry. They come 2 in a sheet in the box. This is one. So we're going to roll this out. We're going to get 6 Danish out of this puff pastry. Try and get it a nice, even rectangle. I think that looks about good. So I'm going to go down the middle. And then I'm going to cut it into, let's see, about that big. Again, first time. First time. We'll see. So I have 6 sections. And I'm going to insert a picture of the Starbucks vanilla bean custard Danish here. And then when ours gets done, we will see if it looks similar. I know it's going to taste similar because that custard tasted delicious. So just don't know if it'll look the same. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is, it says perforate an oval inside here that you're going to kind of sit your pastry cream in. I guess so the Danish, the pastry puffs up around it. So let's do that. It says perforate an oval. So I'm not sure how big an oval they're talking about. So we're going to try it. Maybe I'll do 3 with an oval perforated and 3 without. Also, I really don't know how much pastry to actually put in here. Maybe I'll do it with all of them. I don't know. First time for everything, right? I have no doubt that it's going to taste good. That's for sure. Because oh, my oven's ready. Because with what that pastry cream tastes like, no doubt. Okay. I'm stirring it a little bit. It had a little bit of a skin on the top. So probably should have put some saran wrap a little bit over the top so it didn't get that skin. And now we're going to put it on our pastry. And I'm just starting out with 1 scoop because, again, I've never made these, so I don't know exactly how much or how far this will go. But we are not going to waste a bit of it. Let's smooth it out like that, maybe. See what we got for each size piece of pastry. So if you wanted to use the whole box of puff pastry, you would just double this recipe, and then you would get 12 Danish instead of 6. Okay, so for the Starbucks Danish, they had taken 2 corners and brought them in like that, and just like folded them over each other like that. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. Just make like a little fold over envelope. Put a little egg wash on it, and an egg wash is just an egg beat and some water. And we're going to put these, after the egg wash, we're going to put these in the 400 preheated oven for 12 to 15 minutes. Okay, so we're going to do that. Get that on there. You don't usually use the whole egg wash. It's kind of a waste, but it very well serves a purpose. You use this when you're doing like your hamburger buns, when you're making your hamburger buns. Sometimes your dinner rolls, or you can just use a milk. But a milk won't usually leave it like a golden brown on the top. So it's just how, according to what you like. Now, I've already actually got these on some parchment paper. So I'm going to get them away from each other. Probably should have arranged them before I put the custard on it. But we're going to do what we can here. Okay, and then I'm going to slide my pan under here. And we're going to bake them for 12 to 15 minutes. They just came out. They're smelling really, really good. I did bake mine for 13 minutes. It said 12 to 15. And I think they look just about perfect. And we're going to be tasting one here in a minute. I wanted to see what the underneath looks like, if I can pick it up. Not sure I can. Oh yeah, I think they're perfect. Okay, well, we have to let them cool a little bit. So I'll be back in a little bit to taste them. Oh, they look delicious. Okay, we're going to try one. I'm so excited. They really do look very similar to the one I had at Starbucks. Here we go. Oh, they smell really good. The puff pastry puffed up really good. Mmm. Mm-mm-mm. The pastry is light and airy, just a little crispy. Very good. But that vanilla bean custard, that is delicious. Now, when they gave me mine, they've cooled off. When they gave me mine, they heated it up just a little bit. So I'm going to heat mine back up just a touch. But when I first got them out of the oven, they was just too hot to try. But these are delicious, I promise you. So try these. Give them a try. Let me know in the comments what you thought. And I'll see you back here with another video very soon. So until then, take care of yourself and each other. Bye.